Hello, lovely people. I want to share with you, or let me share with you my decision with regard to or my choice with regard to the reference manager for my dissertation. I am working on that since almost 4 months, and I think it is such a crucial element around which you are organizing all your work, collecting the information, thinking about it, putting it in under a new perspective, linking it with some other thoughts, validating, refuting your hypothesis, your research question. So it is worth having a look at it. Because if your literature, for instance, is done in a very well way, you can then use it with a tool of mixed methods like NVivo or MAXQDA or Atlas.ti or IO, I don't recall, other tools where you can really also look at what is coming out from your literature review, your meta-analysis. Does it validate your thoughts? Does it not? Can it bring you to a new path, new thinking, considering a new approach, something else you didn't think about? So it needs to be, on one side, it needs to be really well structured, and all your thoughts and your annotations, for me, I need to be able to use them in such a way that they're validating my thought process or not while I work in Word on my dissertation. So that is the most important thing. So I don't want to have too many steps in between the reference management, where I put all the results of most of my research, and and which is going to feed also either the quantitative or qualitative methods, as well as an explorative part. So I want to have the quickest way between reference manager and Word. And when you look at, or when I looked at the applications, I had EndNote, which I put very quickly aside. And it's not that it is not a good tool, it is not the one I needed. Mendeley, which is a really sensational tool when doing some research, and I'm still using it when doing some research, but it was not, I didn't feel comfortable. It was too loose for me. Zotero reminds me of MS Explorer of 2005, and it's an MS-DOS version. I mean, which is unfair because it is such a great tool, but it is too chaotic for me. Citavi, I started working with it, then I migrated all the data to Zotero, only to come back to Citavi. Well, what happened there? I started with Citavi 6 because I knew it from my master's degree, but it's pretty slow because my laptop is a Mac one. I needed parallels, Windows 11, the Citavi 6 version, and the Word version, which doesn't need to be on parallels. It can still stay on the Mac OS, but everything is pretty tedious. So I gave it a try. I gave it to Citavi Web a try. And I must say, I'm blown away by the progress they made in almost 4 years now, and which I absolutely love. It's covering, I would say, 80% of the licensed version, and you can use it on your iPhone, on your Samsung smartphone, on your tablet, wherever you run a web browser. And the integration with Word is, for me, way more clean, simple. Let me show that to you. Okay, so let's go to Zotero. So Zotero, here are my categories or my table of content, and here are all the books. And so you see I have quite a lot. Some are double, some, so here they are. Let me go now to Word. When you enter something, let's say I'm saying something, I go into Zotero. You cannot work between Word and the web or the browser version of Zotero. You need to open up your Zotero application. And for the older ones, doesn't it look like an MS Explorer? And you can put everything what you want. You can put notes, you can put links, you can put drawings. Seriously, it is a solid version, but for me, old-fashioned from a look and feel perspective. Now, let's go to Word. And you see in Word, once you install the application, you get also this Zotero menu in Word. And let's say you want to add something. Seriously, can you work with that? If you have let's say 500, 800, 1000 references, citations, how do you want to know which one it is? If you have not something, besides you, something in Google Sheet or a paper or whatever. Yes, you can go in the classic view, and here you see it here, the 4 decades. And yes, you can say, okay, I want this to be put in, but this is not what I'm looking for. Look at Citavi. Citavi, on the other side, you have the web version open. I don't have the Citavi 6 on my Mac laptop, and I can look for references, the ones which I haven't categorized yet, or I can go into some areas. Whenever I already cited something, a reference, it marks it as green. If I go into knowledge, whatever I already cited or inserted as knowledge is going to be ticked off. I am going to find the citations here, the chapters, I don't know yet how I'm going to use them. And especially whenever I write something or I click on something, I see what I wrote, what I gathered or what I captured in my thought what type of citation I chose, whatever. But it is clear, and it adapts itself immediately to the style, the font style, which is here. When everything I took over here has been from Zotero, did not respect the fonts, the styles I'm using in Word. So don't look at it because this is an example to show, but I mean, everything here I added is basically, I mean, there is definitely some aspects which don't work very, very well. So this is the reason why I chose or decided to go with Citavi Web. And I must say, since I made that decision, my mind again is free, my creativity flows, and I can make all the different annotations, links in Citavi Web, and I love it. I must say, I'm absolutely thrilled. Let me just show it to you a last time, because people are talking about Citavi, the licensed version, but not the web version. And I think it is not taking into account what solid applications, it has become. Because you have your reference on one side, if you're under text, you see then the book, the PDF file, or the paper, PDF paper. You can work on the reference, make sure that everything is right. You're on the content, whatever you're choosing, categories, which is also my, which are also my table of content, like in Zotero, and I can work on it. For instance, here I put the quotation, what are the keywords, in which chapter I want to put it, also task, if I need to borrow the book, I need to buy it, to discuss it together with my professor, whatever. And what is good is that you have also a connection with NVivo, which is one of the other tools besides Citavi, now with Citavi from the company NVivo, a US company, and you can do then the export directly from Citavi into this mixed method research tool and see what type of codification it comes up, what it shows you, and so that you can integrate, also look at, okay, my meta-analysis or my literature review, what comes out? Are there additional insights I gain from it that I can continue to use in my work? What are the insights I gain out from the transcriptions I uploaded into the NVivo or MAXQDA or Atlas or other tools, mixed methods research tool, and see what comes out. And that is for me what allows me to keep it very, very lean and very around the core process of reference management and the dissertation. Because interestingly, and I don't recall if I said it, most of the people using Zotero start now to integrate it with Obsidian and eventually or potentially with Overleaf, which is a LaTeX type of word processor, and which would be good for if I would do a scientific work, but I want to keep it as lean as possible. So if I add Obsidian, which is a wonderful tool, but really complex, I don't need that because I have all my organization thoughts, organization idea, organization also outside, and I don't need an additional tool. And reason why I decided to go with Citavi Web and Word to do my dissertation. See you soon. Bye.